Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is D.G. Chichester, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
All right, kids. Here we go. We're going to wrap up that whole damn Evolutionary War. See how we could have gone horribly wrong. Anyway, welcome back to Marvel Tales. I am Phil. Joining me himself, the high Evolutionary it is.
Justin the Owl stepping out of the evolutionary vat.
Took me 5 weeks, but I think I finally said it right.
Yeah, you got it. You got it on the first try.
That's right, kids. This time, yes, we're going to wrap it up with Spectacular Spider-Man, Annual number 8, Avengers Annual 17, and, like I said, how it could have gone horribly, horribly wrong in What If Volume 2, number 1.
Or horribly, horribly right, depending on your point.
Well, I don't think anyone in the Marvel universe will tell you it went right, but all right. So, yeah, I swear there was something else I wanted to say to ask you, or I know one thing I want to ask you. Me and Lilith wanted to ask you a favor. We want to borrow your voiceover talents and come up with like promos or stingers, stuff like Salty and Petty, the best dick jokes in the business, but do it like like a movie trailer voice. And I was like, I'm like, we have a movie trailer voice guy. Come on, let's
totally, I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. I'll send you guys some stuff soon.
The best dick jokes in the business. Yes.
Yeah. Salty and Petty. It's so salty.
Nice.
And so petty.
Nice. I'll be like, here, I got one for every show. Oh my.
Yeah, I will. I'll get to working on those.
Nice. All right. So yeah, let's jump into these Evolutionary Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in these 2 annuals. Wow.
And then the What If's a whole separate bag of hammers.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, this week we start with Spectacular Spider-Man number 8, which almost killed the 90s Clone Saga, but not.
Almost.
Almost. Yeah. All right. So. Yeah, volume 1, number 8. Return to Sender. Writer, friend of the show, and killer of Gwen Stacy, Mr. Jerry Conway.
This is Jerry Conway, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Yeah.
My favorite Spider-Man penciler, Mr. Mark Bagley, inker Keith Williams, colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editors Jim Salicrup and Tom DeFalco himself.
Very nice.
All right. Spider-Man is sitting on a rooftop and is approached by a cat.
Not the black cat.
No. He thinks about how his Aunt May told him to stay away from cats because she thought he was allergic. Oh, obviously he was not, kids.
Yeah.
He wonders how many ideas that people have of others are wrong. He also wonders how much he knows about his wife, Mary Jane Watson, and if she is allergic to cats.
Superior puss.
Superior puss.
Is there an echo in here? He also wonders what his wife would think. His wife would think if he brought a cat home. When suddenly his spider sense begins to go off.
It's ting ting tingaloo, ting ting tingaloo.
He narrowly avoids an energy blast that was shot in his direction. Leaping over to see where the shot came from, he watches a ship carrying 2 armored men chasing after a woman. These are purifiers under the employ of the High Evolutionary, and they are seeking to eliminate the girl below. Spider-Man recognizes the technology from similar men he fought earlier with Daredevil in the Amazing Spider-Man annual. Catching up to the woman they are chasing, the Wallcrawler is shocked to discover she looks like his former girlfriend, Gwen Stacy. This shocks him because Gwen Stacy is dead. Even though he said goodbye to her clone in Amazing Spider-Man 149, but this woman is horrified to see Spider-Man and tries to flee. When the web-slinger tries to follow after her, the Purifiers blasted him again. Spider-Man tries to stop them. They teleport away. He can hardly believe that the woman he saw was Gwen Stacy, but has to get home before this woman gets to his home. Meanwhile, aboard a massive submarine in the middle of the ocean, the Purifier known as Dr. Quint reports back to the High Evolutionary to tell him that they failed at capturing Gwen Stacy. When Quint asks why she is so important, the Evolutionary explains that she is a genetic freak that needs further examination. Nothing can destroy that headband, I tell you. It's an anomaly of science.
It's pure adamantium.
There's a scene in the 90s Spider-Man clone saga where a Gwen Stacy clone comes out of a tank completely, I mean, she's obscured by smoke, but completely butt-ass naked, but she's still wearing that headband.
Look at that headband.
Yes, I'm not joking.
At the end of time, that will be all that's left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Galactus brought it over from the last universe, something.
You Gwen, have this for safekeeping.
Oh, my. The secrets her body contains are an important part to his plans to purify the human race, so they are ready to reach their next level of evolution. Nah, I still think it's dead, man. With that, the High Evolutionary turns into pure energy and leaves the vessel. Back at Peter and Mary Jane's condo, Spider-Man digs through his drawers for a photo album. He struggles with the mix of emotions he feels after seeing the woman who looked like Gwen Stacy. Just then, Mary Jane returns home from shopping. She begins telling him about her plans, but notices that her husband's mind is on something else. That's when he reveals to her that Gwen Stacy is back. At that moment, the High Evolutionary has reached the Celestials' massive ship in deep space. He has come seeking the young gods who have been honing their powers under the Celestials' care after they were transformed into superhumans by Earth's many pantheons in order to prove to the Celestials that humanity is a viable species. The High Evolutionary boards the ship where he witnesses Juniper and Katos training the young gods in the use of their powers. The training session becomes heated until Varua detects the High Evolutionary's presence aboard their ship. The Evolutionary is revealed when Daydreamer uses her mental powers to make the intruder visible. At this point, the High Evolutionary is disappointed as he was expecting to see gods, but found only children with godlike power and departs. The young gods fail to stop the High Evolutionary from departing. However, Daydreamer uses her powers to probe the intruder's mind as he departs. They are horrified to see that the High Evolutionary is plotting genetic suicide on the planet Earth. Although Katos thinks that this is a problem for the human race to solve, Juniper disagrees. One half of the young gods agree to go with Katos. However, Brightsword, an Israeli, refuses to allow another Holocaust, much like his people suffered during World War II. The other half of the young gods agree, and upon Brightsword's orders, High Note sings out a song spell that teleports Brightsword's allies to Earth.
Smoked a doobie.
Is this supposed to... Young gods, new gods,
There's a little cross-pollination going on.
seems like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that in DC around this time? Was that the New Guardians or was that the New Guardians?
New Guardians.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
New
this.
Guardians, new gods, old Guardians.
Oh no! Again with the baby man thing. He did that yesterday when Lilith was here. Hey, baby man.
Oh, that's his little baby Arlo.
Yes. Good
I
morning.
asked him what that was about. I was like, "What's that?" A little Arlo.
We get it. You procreated. Good job. Thumbs up on your fornication, sir. Gonna get him to fall out of that chair someday, kids. Back on Earth, Mary Jane is hurt that Gwen Stacy is apparently back, thinking that she pales in comparison compared to Gwen. Phil looks like a baby man. Oh, see, I knew that. I knew it. I knew you're. Oh, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Come on.
He's just jealous, Phil.
I know. Peter reassures his wife that this isn't Gwen Stacy, but the clone that was created by Miles Warren. He assures her that he has gotten over the death of Gwen and that Mary Jane is the one he truly loves. That's not why we sing, though. Yeah, because you sing about your baby. I want my baby back. We sing because he's a little baby. Ma. You forgot the end. Forgot the end. Oh God, another country heard from. O-ring. I don't know, man. You're obsessed with that O-ring, Russell. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door, and Peter braces himself for who he expects on the other side. It's the clone of Gwen Stacy, who immediately rushes into Peter's arms. Oh, good Lord. O-ring. Stretches.
Ooh,
oh, my. Like rubber, huh, Russell?
Kegel exercises, anyone?
Jeez. I think this room needs some medication. This opens up his bathrobe, and she sees that Peter is wearing a Spider-Man costume. Horrified, the clone flees the scene. Peter scrambles to go after her when Mary Jane points out that he still loves Gwen Stacy. Peter admits that he is confused, but that the clone is confused and needs help. Mary Jane tells him to go to her aid and sort out his feelings once and for all, or not come back. Outside, Spider-Man swings down and pulls the clone of Gwen out of traffic before she gets struck by the traffic. Yeah, sorry, no, I was trying to read a synopsis. She accuses Spider-Man of murdering her father, but he tries to explain that George Stacy sacrificed his life to save a child from falling debris. Suddenly, Spider-Man is blasted by a purifier wearing a suit of battle armor. The purifier then grabs Gwen and begins to teleport away. Unwilling to lose Gwen again, Spider-Man leaps at the purifier and is teleported away with them. Finding himself in the high evolutionary submarine, where he is ordered to be removed and Gwen to be taken to a gene tester, Spider-Man defends himself against the other purifiers while Quint places Gwen in the gene scanner. Suddenly, Bright Sword, High Note, Daydreamer, Mind Singer, and Splice teleport into the facility. While the young gods deal with the purifiers, Spider-Man goes looking for Gwen and finds her in the gene tester. He leaps down to free her, but is grabbed by another purifier. Suddenly, the rest of the young gods arrive, having decided to go after their teammates and rein them back in. Soon the young gods are battling each other, creating more chaos while the High Evolutionary goes over the readings from his scan of the Gwen Stacy clone, and he is not happy with what he sees, or what he's going to lie about. Meanwhile, the young gods who have sided with Katos gain the upper hand, thanks to the direction from Calculus. However, the battle is turned when Daydreamer uses her powers to incapacitate Calculus, ending the battle. At that moment, Spider-Man is broken free from the purifier and manages to free the Gwen Stacy clone from the gene tester. Oh, jeez. Is Noel drunk? Clone boobs scare me. Jeez. Go home, Noel, you're drunk.
Does boobs scare me? Booty looks good all the time.
However, he pulls away. Spider-Man hugs her and assures her that she is safe because she is with him. Peter Parker, however, he pulls away from her and tells the Stacy clone that no matter what he felt for the original Gwen Stacy, she is dead and Peter loves someone else. The Gwen clone pleads with Peter not to leave her alone. Spider-Man assures her that he will help her get back home once he gets some answers. He approaches the young gods as Cicadus decides to use his powers to heal Calculus's damaged mind. The young gods have come to the conclusion that perhaps they should stay out of the affairs of humanity if it means fighting among themselves. After briefly explaining who they are to Spider-Man, High Note teleports the young gods away. That's when the High Evolutionary confronts Spider-Man and the Gwen Stacy clone. Spider-Man demands to know what he wanted with the clone of Gwen Stacy. The High Evolutionary explains that he wanted to confirm if she was a clone or not. He then reveals a shocking conclusion. This woman is not a clone of Gwen Stacy. Yeah, well. Until we need a 90s clone saga.
Right, yeah, give it another few years.
He theorizes that Miles Warren used a woman with a similar genotype and created a genetic virus to change the woman so she resembled Gwen Stacy down to a genetic level. After this revelation, the High Evolutionary uses his powers to teleport Spider-Man and the woman who once believed to be a clone to be teleported back to New York City. After hearing that she is not really a clone of Gwen Stacy, the woman breaks down and wonders what she will do next. Suddenly, Daydreamer of the Young Gods arrives, and having sensed Gwen's distress, has come to help. Using her powers, Daydreamer uses her powers to remove the illusions from her mind and apparently restoring the woman to her true form. Her mind at ease, the woman once thought of as Gwen Stacy walks away. It's only once she is gone that Peter realizes he never learned her real name. However, this whole experience has helped him sort out his feelings. Peter returns home to Mary Jane and tells her that he still loves Gwen Stacy, but she is gone for good. Although he still loves Gwen, he points out that he loves Mary Jane even more, assuring her that Gwen Stacy is part of his past and Mary Jane is his future. That booty's part of my future, right, Noel?
Booty looks good all the time.
Trade it up for a redhead.
Exactly. Okay, kids, and yeah, this is the story until yes, we need a clone saga. So,
yes.
So as revealed in Scarlet Spider Unlimited #1, the High Evolutionary is like, yeah, I lied about that whole thing. Yeah, she really was a clone of Gwen Stacy, but he was all afraid that of Miles Warren's cloning, because he thought cloning would stagnate humanity's evolution. So that's why he tried to bury that whole cloning thing.
Yeah. He was just being sneaky the whole time. Yeah, and that was what 1995?
Yeah, it was like 94, 95, yeah.
94, 95, so it was a few years after this, yeah.
Again, once they decided they wanted to do a clone saga.
Right. Yeah, and then that went on forever. Yeah.
And I wonder if people just got on their nerves because, like, I think there was at least a year or so of the Clone Saga, and then people, well, again, it lasts like 2 years. They might have been halfway through the Clone Saga, and people are just going, what about what the High Evolutionary said? Yeah. Because, yes, because I think they even addressed that in the Clone Saga, where it's like, yes, Daydreamer made her believe she was a woman named Joyce Delaney or something, I think. But then eventually that whole thing wore off, and she reverted to a clone of Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe she was the one that ended up banging Norman Osborn in Europe.
Oh, no. They revealed that. No, I revealed that during Nick Spencer's, Amazing Run. Yeah, that was just...
I know. I can hope, but...
I know, but no, yeah, that was just... what was that? The villain's name. Basically, just put that fantasy in Norman's head. He banged no version of Gwen Stacy. Just an old man's twisted fantasies. Right, Noel? But I swear, I remember her saying,
"My fetish is to get touched by a white man with cornrows."
There's always a fetish for that somewhere.
I could still feel the touch of that headband.
Right, that indestructible headband.
I don't know if they could clone a human being, but they sure know how to clone that damn headband. Cornrow booty, jeez. I think Lowell's drunk, man.
It's not just for boys.
All right. So yeah, what did you think, Justin?
I love this one. Actually, what I liked about this one, believe it or not, the most was the Young Gods. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really cool concept, that the Celestials got this disparate group of Earth kids together. And they had these two weird alien beings, Juniper and Katos, that were their instructors. And we're using them kind of as like an ant farm, and kind of watching their progress and using them as an argument about whether to go back and wipe out Earth or not. I thought that was such a cool concept. And I thought their designs and their powers were pretty neat. They're a cool team. I always thought that it would have been cool if Marvel had ever gone back and done more with these characters, because I felt like they had a lot of potential to do things. Maybe not Earth-based stuff, but maybe out in the galaxy. Like Guardians of the Galaxy type stuff. I don't know. But I always wanted to see more of them, and I was disappointed that they never really went anywhere with these characters at all. They just kind of disappeared after this, I think.
I was gonna say I don't remember seeing much of that and like really seeing them after this. So I mean, and again, third Spider-Man annual for this year, and again, they were either introducing or like showcasing some new characters. You know, an Amazing it was Speedball, and the Web of Spider-Man it was Poison, and then here it was the Young Gods. Yeah.
And they were all different too. Like I liked that. Like Speedball was very different. Poison was very different. The Young Gods were very different. I really liked that. I thought it was cool. It was a good way to showcase some new characters. And also we get like 2 annuals with, I think it was two annuals with Mark Bagliard in the same summer, which that was really nice.
Oh yeah, he did the web one too, right? Yeah.
The Amazing one. The Amazing Spider-Man one with
Speedball.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about the backup story by Ditko. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 2 great annuals with some great art by him. Yeah, that was great. And this might have been the first couple of times that I ever saw him draw Spider-Man. There's the Amazing Spider-Man annual and this one. So that was cool.
Yeah, because we'll get to it in the end of July, but. Yeah, before he became the regular penciler on Amazing Spider-Man, he did New Warriors. So we're going to do.
Right. Yeah, we're coming up to that pretty soon too. The beginning of that. I'm excited for that.
Because I remember at the end of Eric Larson's run, and they was like, "Oh, new penciler Mark Bagley from New Warriors is coming over," and I was thinking, "Oh no, am I going to like this?" And he turned out being like my favorite Amazing Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man artist.
Yeah, I was bummed that he was leaving New Warriors because I loved him on that. Mm-hmm. But I was like, ooh, I bet he's going to do great Spider-Man because I remembered the annuals and how he did such a great job on those. So I was really excited. Yeah, he turned out to be just the best. The best Spider-Man penciler for the 90s and beyond, yeah.
And again, if you're a comic book writer or artist or any kind of artist, I mean, is that not one of the big pats on your back? Is either get to draw or write Spider-Man or that other guy over in the other company,
Batman. My favorite character.
Right.
Chance never zero, right?
Yeah, those are always both good to have on the resume.
Yeah.
I also liked in this annual how you got to see all the different armored warriors of the High Evolutionary for the first time in the same story. You get the Eliminators with the big spike gauntlets. You get the Gatherers with the big giant shields. And you get the Purifiers with the cannons on their hands, and the one dude with the big, gigantic exoskeleton where he attacks Spider-Man with. Yeah, I really liked that. I thought that was cool how we saw this big hub of all the High Evolutionaries, armored warriors in one place. That was cool.
And again, more than like some of the other stories during this event, this kind of makes sense from the genetic angle where it's like, oh yeah, High Evolutionary would be interested in, is this cloning and, how can this, how will this pertain to the the evolution of humanity and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also his interest in the Young Gods as well, like how they potentially could affect his plans. Yeah,
it makes more sense than let's kill some drug dealers.
Right. Yeah, and that reality tearing machine from the Web of Spider-Man annual that got a little weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and once again, the backup for this issue was not on the app, the one with the Young Gods, and their like the origin of each Young God.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why they did that. They cherry picked some of these backups, but I really enjoyed the backups, the spotlights on all those characters. I was like I said, I was interested to see more of them. I was hoping that we would see more of them.
Yeah, and again, I was lazy. I didn't dig out my copy. I just read it on the app. But yeah, the backup. You get the origins basically of all the Young Gods.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get the origin of the the next chapter of the origin of the High Evolution.
Next chapter, yeah. Was it chapter 11? I think, right?
Something, I think. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
The Son of the Earth.
Chapter 10.
Having ascended to godhood, the High Evolutionary has begun following other intellectual pursuits. Using his powers to fuse a number of meteors together into a base of operations, the High Evolutionary then willingly devolved himself to human form. Utilizing the secrets he learned when he decided to learn all he could about the evolution of life on planet Earth. Using his scientific genius, he created Counter-Earth, an exact duplicate of Earth that existed on the opposite side of Earth's sun. Seeding the world with life, he then sped up its evolution to the dawn of man. Unfortunately, while resting, the High Evolutionary was off guard when the renegade new man, known as the Man-Beast, used the High Evolutionary's devices to teach humanity the ways of violence. Well, create Man-Beast, and they're all going to go
Wild, like an animal.
Giant-sized man-beast.
Oh my!
You got to rub that one in. No, I invented that, you dick.
It's a giant-sized man thing.
Oh boy! The High Evolutionary hoped to avoid his humanity. Hoped to help his humanity avoid living in a long history of violence, like on his homeworld. However, he punished the Man-Beast for this evil act. At that same time, Adam Warlock emerged from his cocoon. He came to the aid of the High Evolutionary and convinced him not to destroy Counter-Earth, as he saw a spark of goodness in the life he created. Adam Warlock then asked to go down to Counter-Earth and guide humanity and protect it from the evil of the Man-Beast. However, despite Adam Warlock's attempts to purge the evil of the Man-Beast, he found himself crucified for his troubles. However, with the help of a character familiar to some people here, the Hulk, the terror of the Man-Beast was ultimately purged from his world. Soon after, Counter-Earth was under threat from the World Devourer known as Galactus. However, he managed to repel Galactus with the aid of the Fantastic Four. Shortly thereafter, Adam Warlock returned to the High Evolutionary, thinking that Counter-Earth was destroyed. However, Warlock's perceptions were clouded by his Soul Gem. Before the High Evolutionary could talk sense to Warlock, Adam blasted him with the Soul Gem. However, instead of dying, the High Evolutionary reverted to his godlike form once again. To be continued in the final chapter, Avengers Annual 17.
Yes. Yeah, chapter 11 is the final chapter, yeah.
So any thoughts on that, Justin?
Well, the giant-sized man-beast always makes me laugh. I always laugh at that. How he corrupted the gentle, loving population of Counter-Earth and taught them the ways of violence.
How do you do that? Video games and rap music? The Republicans told us what happened.
Those impressionable Counter-Earth youths. So easily corrupted by the influence of the giant-sized man-beast.
I believe, what was it, like a 70s Fantastic Four, where the Reed Richards on that Earth basically became the like the Thing, except he's big and purple, and they called him the Brute.
The Brute, yeah.
Yes. Counter-Earth. Whatever happened to Counter-Earth?
Didn't they, well, besides the movie, didn't they just do a story about Counter-Earth in the comics, I thought?
I don't know, it's weird, because it's like, after Heroes Reborn, didn't that Earth kind of become Counter-Earth or something? They were using that for like a Counter-Earth for a while. That's what I'm saying. They've done so many different versions. I don't know if they've like lost the original version or what.
Oh, that's true. It could have changed over the years.
Exactly. You got my vibe, Noel. Thank you. Counter-Earth needed a Tipper Gore.
Exactly. More parental advisory stickers everywhere.
Exactly. All this nasty violence and nudity. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Think of the children.
Think of the man beasts.
Won't somebody please think of the man beasts?
Sarah McLachlan needs to do a commercial. All right. Should we get to the Avengers Annual?
Yeah, the thrilling conclusion to the Evolutionary War.
Then we could do that what if issue where we could see where it could go horribly wrong.
What could have happened if he'd won?
Yes. All right. So this whole thing ends in Avengers Annual 17. Prometheus Mutans, writer Walt Simonson, penciler Mark Bright, inkers Mike Gustovich and Valerie Gustovich. Oh, wonder if this is a married couple, maybe?
I don't know.
Colorist Evelyn Stein, letterer Bill Oakley, Michael Heisler, and Rick Parker, and editor Mark Grunwald. So, yeah, those like inkers and the colorist, the names don't look familiar. Oh, was this a backup roster also? Just like the team in this book?
Yeah. One starts to wonder by the time we get to the end of the issue, yeah.
All right, so reconstructed by parties unknown, the robot Jocasta frees herself and places an emergency call to the Avengers before being subdued by her captors. Since the Avengers roster is currently nil, their headquarters computer summons the reserve members, which results in a unique gathering including the Captain, the Falcon, Hercules, the Beast, the supposedly deceased Hulk, Joe Fixit himself, and the female Yellow Jacket, the latter forced to report by an alarm in her stolen helmet. Tracing Jocasta's call to a Long Island laboratory complex, the makeshift band discovers the followers of the High Evolutionary who plan to explode a genetic bomb which will catapult the human race instantly through 1,000,000 years of evolution. Their search takes them to Lemuria, which is under attack by Atlantean forces. Halting the battle, they deduce that the two sides were brought together by a ruse in hopes of sterilizing both races, and the Atlanteans and Lemurians join forces to seek out their common foe. The heroes locate a gigantic mobile base en route to the volcano Krakatoa, whose explosion will fire the genetic bomb's contents into the high atmosphere. Invading the craft, the Avengers foment a revolution by revealing to the High Evolutionary's men that their leaders are actually the evolved animals called New Men. New Men! They then locate their foe's Genesis chamber and confront him directly, but he easily disables Jocasta, then teleports the Hulk back to the New Mexican desert. While the others occupy their foe's attention, the Beast uses the genetic accelerator on Hercules, transforming him into the High Evolutionary's equal. The two titans clash and the High Evolutionary ultimately discorporates, but Hercules continues to evolve until he too vanishes, his fate unknown. until the Thor book.
Right. A couple of years later.
Exactly. As the other Avengers beat a hasty retreat in their Quinjet, Jocasta sets off the base's matter-antimatter drive, destroying both it and the genetic bomb. All right, so. Yeah, lots of things here. So Steve Rogers, still the cap towards the end of his run as the captain, shows up first.
Right. Yeah, what did you think of this one, Phil?
It was interesting, but I don't know. I find a little fault in their logic. It's like, if there's no East Coast Avengers at the moment, don't the West Coast Avengers become the Avengers?
Right, yeah. You would have thought they would have been the only ones to hear any of the alarm signals that went off.
I mean, if no one's answering on the West Coast, then I can see the reserves getting activated, but shouldn't the first call go to the West Coast Avengers?
Yeah. Oops.
I guess, yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's just, was Walt Simonson not just reading Hulk at the time? Because it was weird. At some points, Joe was refer to himself as Hulk, like the Green Hulk used to do. I'm like, Joe never did that.
His Joe Fixit was kind of weird.
Yeah, he kind of shifted between Joe Fixit and like the old dumber Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, and you wondered too, is Joe just being sarcastic? Is he just kind of like messing with these guys, or?
I could have seen Peter David explaining that in the Hulk book, because he loved doing stuff like that, where it's just like, oh yeah, the Hulk wanted to make them all think he was still stupid when he was.
Yeah, it was just an act. Yeah, but it was so weird that he was even in there in the first place, because up to this point, like the Hulk hadn't had really any interaction as a member of the Avengers for like decades.
I know. Yeah, until the MCU started, it's like, yeah, Hulk really wasn't doing much with the Avengers. Yeah.
No, but they somehow shoehorned him in with all of these big crossovers in which all of the roster of the Avengers was called into action. It was this one, and then Atlantis Attacks too. He was joined and drafted into that mess. But I always thought it was strange. I was like, Joe would not. And first of all, if Joe Fixit saw some Avengers beacon going off, he'd be like, yeah, nice, cool.
Well, they do show
back to drinking his martini.
They do show when he gets the call. It's like at the end of Hulk 350, because like that was like the crossover with the Fantastic Four issue where him and Ben Grimm fight it out. Yeah,
with Dr. Doom. Yeah.
And the Beast like shows up, and he's basically like, I'll kill you if you tell anyone who I. It was like he's like come help. He's like, I promise we won't say anything if you come help us.
Yeah, but still, I found that a little bit hard to believe. I was like, yeah, I don't think Joe would have at this point in his what was going on with him. I don't think he would have cared at all about what the Avengers were doing. He would have told them to pound sand if that thing went off.
But I do like when they were talking about involving Hercules. He's like, no. If anyone's getting involved around here, it's me.
That's right.
And so Steve's like, I got to set off the alarm, and so the High Evolutionary shows up and just like blasts him away.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a risky gamble. What if the High Evolutionary just like killed him or something,
Yeah, that's true. Or what if, like, after the High Evolutionary was defeated and Joe Fixit was still around, what if then he was like, you know what, I'm going to take that evolutionary crap for myself, and then they would have had to stop him. That would have been a good twist. And what about Hercules, too? Like, was there any gap between the Under Siege storyline in which Hercules got the boots put to him by all of the Masters of Evil, and this?
Didn't I don't know, was it like a year after that, like the Avengers take him to like Olympus or something, to like, because wasn't he in a coma or something?
Yeah, and then Zeus gets pissed that even happened in the first place and lays the smackdown on all the Avengers. But
after that, I don't think.
After that, he's like, well, Hercules is banned from going to Earth because you guys messed him up so bad, and he's going to stay here in Olympus and heal for a while. But I wondered if there was any appearance of him after that, leading up to this annual, because he's got the new armor, he's got the new look.
I'm trying to remember, unless didn't he have a miniseries at some point? When is that, or was that before this?
Oh, was that before this?
I don't know, or unless he was showing up in Thor or something. But I'm not too familiar with his appearance.
Maybe it's the miniseries.
Yeah, maybe it was. I think because he shows up, he's like, yes, I had to sneak this armor to get out of Olympus and stuff.
Yeah, to steal one of my father's thunderbolts to get out of Olympus. But I thought that Zeus forbade him to ever go back to Earth because of how badly the Masters of Evil beat him up.
Well, maybe this was the first thing after that whole Olympus story. I don't know.
Yeah, and I thought that was a kind of a throwaway too, to have Hercules gone for all that time, and then just have him return for this one story, only to kill him off, supposedly, quote unquote, at the end.
I mean, if Zeus was pissed at them for getting him beat up, I mean, shouldn't he have been showing up, raining hell on Earth now? I mean,
right.
I mean, I guess technically he's not dead; he's ascended to some higher godhood. But I'm just like, I don't know.
Maybe that's why Zeus didn't come down like the Fury, because he could still sense his son in the atmosphere. I don't know. To be honest with you, when I first read this annual, I was disappointed. I thought this is a letdown of an ending. Because we've got this weird crap with them fermenting this fight between the High Evolutionary's followers, like having the Beast go in and say all this stuff to dupe the human followers of the High Evolutionary into thinking that the new men are plotting a revolt of some kind.
Yeah, that was weird. And then they're like gunning each other down, and I'm like, I don't think the Avengers would be like, tricking people, even the bad guys, and then gunning each other down.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really weird. Like, that whole thing came out of nowhere and was really strange and left a bad taste in my mouth. And like, I could get behind the other roster of this team.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the Beast, totally.
We started this little crossover with the Beast, and we ended it with the Beast.
That's right.
And again, he got his fur back by then, because remember, he would look like regular Hank McCoy in the beginning of this thing. Now he's got his blue fur back.
Yeah, so like a month later, he got blue again. So he would totally have the Avengers signal thing, and he would totally respond to it. Like, that's just the Beast. And the Falcon, same thing. Like, I love the Falcon in this. Totally great. I even love Jocasta. Like, I think that Jocasta's time in the Avengers was too brief, like Mantis's and a lot of other female Avengers. And I thought, cool, so they're bringing Jocasta back. Oh, cool. They're killing her off at the end of this also. So they brought her back just to kill her again, like Hercules. And I also liked the Rita Damara version of Yellow Jacket joining up, because it would make sense that she stole that suit, so it would have some type of weird communication thing in it that she didn't know about. And it was cool to have her join up in this as just a random one-off member. But the Hulk, like Joe Fixit and Hercules, like I don't know. It was kind of weird, that whole pairing, and I thought it was really strange the choices that they made with going to Atlantis and this whole underwater story, and then the bomb under Krakatoa. Like, there was really no lead up to this. Even in the annual that we just talked about, the Spectacular Spider-Man annual, there was no real. I mean, he talked about genetic bombs and stuff, but
I guess they just wanted to go worldwide with this thing. Because, I mean, we visited the Savage Land, twice? I mean, we were all over New York. Right. Yeah. But again, I wonder if this was planned, or if it was just, oh, hey, it's time for the Avengers annual. We have no Avengers at the moment. Okay. Just throw some people together.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had no problems with most of the team, but just I thought the Hercules thing was weird, like, and the Joe Fixit, like, I still have such a hard time believing that Joe would ever lift a finger to help the Avengers at this point in his what was going on with him. Like, even if Beast offered him like $1 million, I don't even know if he would do it then.
Yeah, I don't think they gave him, but I could have seen if, like, he thought, oh, I can, maybe the High Evolutionary is something I want or something. Again, I think he's still under the thing where he's not turning in the banner for the first couple months he's in Vegas. But I'm just wondering, he'd be like, maybe I should need a backup plan. Maybe the High Evolutionary might have something to keep me permanently from changing back the banner and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. But it would have been nice to have a little illusion of that in the dialogue. So
I know. I wonder if they just squeezed Joe in just because he didn't have an annual this.
That's true.
I was gonna say, I don't think he had an annual, or if he did, it was no part of Evolutionary War. So
I don't think there was one. I don't think there was a Iron Man annual that year. Yeah, They fixed that the next year, though.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got one the following year.
Stay tuned for next summer, kids.
That's right. You want to announce that this
episode,
yes,
we're going to do Atlantis Attacks next year.
Atlantis Attacks next summer.
Got some other fun stuff for you.
Yeah.
I'll wait till the end of this episode. We reveal what we're going to cover next episode.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we have a little bit of a switch.
Yes. The one everyone demanded and everyone feared. It's coming, kids.
I can't wait for Lilith's reaction to this.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Yeah, because she said something, because we were talking about the Patreon. Because, yes, next weekend, kids, we're going to be, Lilith is going to cover Heroes Reborn Avengers.
Oh.
But I was like, yeah, we got to save Captain America for July. And she said something about me doing something in the Captain America with my mouth. I'm like, shut up, Lilith. She's like, always has to be in July. I'm like, well, that makes sense. And then I was all like, oh, Justin likes Captain America, doing the Captain America stuff.
I do. I'll do Captain America stuff any day of the week.
I will take a bad, I don't even think it's that bad, but I will take a bad Mark Grunwald story over any story of some of these guys.
Absolutely.
Looking at you, Zeb Wells. The luckiest day in Brian Michael Bendis' life is when Zeb Wells took over Amazing Spider-Man. Took all the heat off him. Forget about you, Bendis.
Bendis.
I told you I still want to do a trial of Bendis, and everyone just brings their
Bendis.
Trial of Bendis.
yes, get some Moonies to present evidence on Moon Knight, and Lilith can rant about the destruction of Kandor and Rogozar. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Eventually, you can do a trial of Zeb.
Oh yes. It's so weird. Do you know his wife is on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Heidi Gardner. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for the High Evolutionary's origin here.
Oh yes, we've got the conclusion to his origin, part 11.
Atuma. Oh yeah, Atuma showed up in this.
It's not Atuma.
All right, there's no synopsis, so let's pull the issue up here. But yeah, no, I like that. I mean, there are faults with this story. I kind of like it, but I like how it flows right into Captain America 349, because that, basically we see Steve Rogers returning to Hydra base right after.
Right. Yeah.
I told you that is one of my favorite Cap issues of all time. Is that Cap 349?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
With D-Man.
And 352. Yeah, both of those. I love those. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, kids. We're getting some Grunwald Captain America.
Oh yeah,
this year,
sooner than you think.
This year, and next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. It's because for the life of me, I can't remember. Here we go. The origin. Well, I read all these. I read all these annuals together. So, this one and the Spectacular Spider-Man. So can't remember where one part of the origin ends and another begins. All right. Yeah, I'd be most of this roster. I would have been behind this being the Avengers.
Me too. Like, this would have been a prime time to bring Jocasta back. Yeah, it was a missed opportunity.
But I love West Coast Avengers. There's no Iron Man does not show up at all in this crossover. Yeah. Even as Thor, Thor might be in Asgard, because when the Avengers broke up around this time, he did take the Black Knight to Asgard. I think, so Thor.
The whole War of the Gods thing was happening.
I think it was like running into Thor 400. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so Thor was busy at this time.
But meanwhile, Hercules got the call on Olympus.
I know. Yeah, funny how that happened. Yeah.
Boy,
probably Thor was busy wrestling with Surtur, and he's like, "I'm busy. I can't come to Earth right now and fight the High Evolutionary."
I know, but again, that was another thing of mine. So he got the call on Olympus. Boy, that must be a long distance call.
Yeah, really. That's some good communication stuff. He must have had Hank Pym design that special.
Exactly. All right, here it is, Chapter 11, Beyond Life. Oh yeah, we get the whole thing with Ben Grimm and Alicia and Moondragon.
And her.
Yes.
Being known as her.
And basically how Counter-Earth was stolen. Oh yeah, didn't this have to do with the Beyonders?
Yeah, his mind snapped because he witnessed the Beyonders.
Yes.
And he realized that his whole reason for being was basically nothing. And he was nothing. And everything was nothing compared to these vast, limitless, unfathomable beings. So, Russell and I covered it actually in an issue of Gamma Charge recently, in an issue of The Incredible Hulk. He goes to Earth after having this mental breakdown, essentially, and asks the Hulk to kill him.
Oh yeah, this is basically how this whole thing ends. Yeah, he basically asks the Hulk to kill him, and the Hulk's trying to smash him, and it looks like he eventually kills him. But then that armor, basically there's not hardly anything left, and the armor still brings him back.
Yeah, it recoalesces again with the pink protoplasmic goo that is the High Evolutionary still inside of it. Because I guess that's when he reaches his ultimate form. I guess that's what he is, like pink goo or something.
I mean, talk about egotistical. Just the first thing he says when he comes back is, "It may have taken a slide down the evolutionary ladder to enable me to slough off my madness, but I am lucid once more."
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of an egomaniac, yeah.
Yes. But yes, he says, "No matter what it takes, I shall not stop until man reigns supreme in all the universe."
Yeah.
Okay, Purple Hitler, slow down.
Yeah. Although that does also explain why he had, at the beginning, when we see the X Factor annual, why all of a sudden he's got this agenda. Because as we were saying when we started covering this, like there wasn't a whole lot of lead up to this.
Yeah.
But that one page where he recoalesces and has that villain monologue at the end and is ranting at the sky, that does do the job of explaining it right there. Like he had his mental breakdown, he had a little bit of a mentee bee, and now he's ready to start back where he left off.
In that Hulk issue, did they have that where the armor brought him back?
No.
Okay.
At the end of it, he died. Okay. And the Hulk just stalked off, and everything that the High Evolutionary had done, all of the weird stuff that he had done to Rick Jones and Betty and all that stuff, had been reversed. So
okay.
That was it, yeah.
So I figured maybe that was Grunwald's way of just showing how the High Evolutionary came back, and it's like that was kind of the way to say, okay, this is leading up to the Evolutionary War, so.
Right. We have to have it make sense somehow. Why all of a sudden he's back, and he's back at being Mr. Villain again.
Exactly. And again, Ron Lim art on this backup.
Gorgeous stuff. I love this artwork.
I like his Hulk, yeah.
Yeah. I wish he had done more Hulk. Yeah. He didn't get to do enough. He did a great job in the all of the times that the Hulk was in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. I was like, gosh, we need more of Ron Lim's Hulk. Please give us more of this.
All right. So should we get to the what if issue?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Because this one, I mean, it basically spins out of that Avengers finale there. So
yeah.
And again, this is not on the app, kids. So
right, you got to track this one down the hard way.
Oh yeah. Which is weird. This volume is on the app, but don't you think you would have number 1 on there, especially when you have the actual annual this is based off of?
I know. It's strange, yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All right. So yes, what if volume 2 it says volume 1 number 1, but there was a volume before this.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too when I saw that earlier.
Yeah. All right. So what if the Avengers lost the Evolutionary War? Oh man, how bad is that? Like everyone else basically won their annuals. Then well, I mean, I guess it would make sense, kind of, because I mean, if it's a backup team, they could have lost.
Totally. The reserve members blew it.
Oh yeah, those Avengers, those backups were just like, yeah.
I blew that.
Oh. All right. July 1989. So yeah, they got this out within a year of that cross.
Yeah.
Because some of those what ifs, man, they were talking about stuff from like years or decades before. Yeah, I know. It was like, remember how this ended last year? Well, this is how it could have went wrong.
Yeah, they got this one out quick.
Exactly. Writer Roy Thomas, penciler Ron Wilson, inker Mike Gustovich. Oh, they got the same inker. At least one of them.
Inker.
Oh. Colorist Tom Vincent, letterer Mike Hessler, and editor Craig Anderson. It's so weird. It's like everyone else is different except for the inker. Same guy.
I remember doing this last summer.
Exactly. All right. In this story, the High Evolutionary's genetic bomb exploded. As a result, both normal humans and mutants were altered. The mutants' powers grew greatly. The normal humans developed bigger heads with advanced minds, and those artificially altered were changed in various ways. Spider-Man, for example, grew 6 arms. Again.
Again. Not again.
Due to the evolution, the evolved humans made peace with the mutants and with each other across the globe. Okay, there's the good part. World peace came in this. The mutants and mutated, now called godlike ones by the changed humans, elect Wolverine as a leader and decide that they cannot live alongside humanity anymore. Immediately leaving for space together inside a shimmering aura, Thor, unchanged by the bomb, decides to return to Asgard. While the mutants travel around the galaxy, the Inhumans and the Unimind join them. It was just funny. Just, the Eternals form the Unimind. There and there. The Inhumans. There and there. The Shi'ar, the Kree, and the Skrulls create a vast armada to stop them and are swiftly destroyed.
Destroyed.
Yeah. 3 civilizations, and they just like, yeah, we're going to run right through you. Meanwhile, back on Earth, decades have passed and some heroes are already dead. The missing Daredevil returns after being in hibernation all those years and is welcomed by humans and the Vision. In space, the godlike ones destroy Galactus. That was even weird because they're like, Nova's like, oh yeah, I can't kill Galactus. So they just kill Nova. But then the Silver Surfer shows up and they're like, yeah, we're just going to throw you across the galaxy. And, I'm like, why didn't you just do that to Nova then? Right. Why did you kill one Herald and then the ex-Herald? You're just like, yeah, we'll give you a break.
Yeah, what did Nova ever do to you guys?
I know, was it Johnny Storm in there? That was his girlfriend at one time.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Again, you're letting Wolverine lead you guys. I mean, I don't know.
Bad idea. Yeah, that was the first mistake.
Yes, but again, so those Avengers at the end of the Avengers Annual, except for Steve Rogers, the rest of them die and when the ship goes down. Beast, Falcon, and Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket, yeah. He was the only survivor.
Oh, because who pulls him out of the ocean, Justin?
Namor. My favorite biscuit. That's right. I was happy to see him again.
Was it Hawkeye who called him like Triangle Head or something?
I think so, yeah. Or Spock. He called him Spock a couple of times.
Yeah, so they destroy Galactus. Back on Earth, humans are evolved further and are using their powers to regenerate Earth. Vision, being the last of the heroes alive and unable to keep living, suicides by imploding himself. He basically pulls enough solar radiation to basically just does a mini supernova.
Yeah, atom bomb.
It's so weird. Like when the Vision's like, all mopey about, oh, my friends are dead. It's like he's standing at like Hawkeye's grave, and I'm just like, wait a minute, she was in this issue. Wouldn't he be standing over his wife's grave?
Wanda,
because this was before White Vision, so he still kind of has an emotional attachment there. I'm like, wouldn't you be crying about your? I mean, we're going to mourn all your friends, but wouldn't your wife be on the top of the list?
Yeah, you'd be spending the most time at her grave over Hawkeye's.
No, because it's like after the time jump, we don't mention her. I mean, the Vision never mentions her. Like, really?
Yeah. See, if I was the Vision, I would have just rebuilt Jocasta.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm cool now. Wanda who?
Anatomically correct, you say?
Oh, the possibilities.
We're talking about Vision or whatever Lilith Hellfire's building in her basement. She was going on about sex bots again yesterday.
This is the Jocasta model.
Oh, my. I don't know. For some reason, she looks like Jean Grey. I don't know.
And watch Wolverine push everybody out of the way. She looks like who?
Wolverine decides to leave the collective godhood. So Vision basically suicides himself. In space, the godlike ones absorb the omnipotent entity's death and eternity. We take out death.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that escalated quickly.
And again, everyone listening to this, if this sounds weird to you, this does not do justice to how weird this issue is. If you have not read this issue, you have to read this issue. Yeah. The Celestial. Go ahead. The Celestials come to Earth and judge it unworthy, but the evolved humans join their minds together and kill the Celestial called Erisham. Yeah. And the Eternals leave. Afterwards, their minds become one and become one with the Earth. So yes, kids. So they've killed Galactus. They've absorbed death and eternity, and they've just killed a Celestial.
Like one of the most powerful Celestials too, not just
the judge, yeah,
basically the judge, like the leader, and they even made him like into the leader in the MCU. Of the Celestials. So
I mean, it's basically the biggest road rage incident in history because he gave them the finger and they killed him.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have the last word.
All right, and if that's not enough, meanwhile, the godlike ones create a tear in reality and access another blank universe and create a big bang that gives birth to that universe. Death and eternity separate, and the essence of the former heroes now are part of one or other. The departure of these entities, however, affects the universe they left, which implodes upon itself. Earth, now a living, self-contained planet protected by the united minds of humanity, survives, awaiting for the rebirth of the universe. And let's not forget the important part. High Evolutionary stuck on Earth now. I love that. What was that last line? It was like, hold on, I got the issue here. Because again, it wasn't on the app.
Yeah.
It was like,
unfortunately, mine is long gone.
I know. Where is this? Is he happy? Is he happy? Unhappy? The very words are meaningless to him now. Well, at least he has a nice view.
He's going to be there for a while, so he might as well enjoy it.
As he will remain thus unmoving until time and death commence anew in this universe. So he's trapped in that armor, I guess, and not able to move until someone decides to restart this universe.
Yeah. Yikes. Be careful what you wish for, High Evolutionary. You might just get it.
Exactly.
The moral of that story.
Oh, they knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah, because they, again, like I said, a year later, they did the what if on the Evolutionary War. And, oh, what's this ad in the back? Atlantis attacks.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Cross promotion. It's a big deal. 1989.
And also, kids, when we do Atlantis attacks, we're also going to do the what if for that, too. So
yes. Hopefully I can find that one. The problem was I used to have this issue, but I had a bunch of comics that were kind of ruined when some rainwater hit them. We had a little bit of a roof leak and a bunch of comics were water damaged. So I've got to get another copy of it. But I remember laughing so much at the egghead, just seeing everybody turn into eggheads. And then the death of Erisham the Celestial, because this was before, like, nowadays, like in comic books, Celestials are getting killed off like every other month. Like, it's just anybody like Squirrel Girl could go up to a Celestial and kill him practically now.
Pretty much, yeah.
But back then, like, I don't think anybody had managed that feat. So when that happened, I remember thinking, wow, this is pretty crazy.
But yeah, the egghead thing was funny because, like, even the superheroes, their heads are just ripping through the masks and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, all the mutants, all the Avengers, yeah.
And basically, like, Tony Stark just gives up, and
it's a bit of a downer, this issue.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah,
I know. Banner and the Hulk are just like, but one mind now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when X Factor shows up at the big meeting and Doom standing there, and they're like, "Oh, you gave up trying to conquer the world." He's like, "Everyone's mind is like one now. What would be the point?"
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of an egomaniac if you don't have any ego.
And I couldn't decide, was it just the way the artist drew them, or did Ben Grimm and Miss Marvel kind of get bigger when did they evolve bigger or something? It's just they did look larger. Yeah, both of them. Yeah. Oh, because on page 12 here, because like Ben Grimm standing behind the Hulk, and he's taller than way taller than the Hulk. So I don't know. Yeah. And I mean, he was supposed to be bigger then because he had that additional mutation, but I don't think he was supposed to be that big. Yeah, no, because I mean, look, he's like towering over everybody. Yeah, he's massive. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Doctor Strange and the Sorcerers are basically fighting off Dormammu and that, and then they basically all just like vanish forever. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be the funniest one, Punisher with the giant egghead. The saddest part for me was like the others like join together and like leave Earth, and it's just like basically leaves like Steve Rogers behind, and it's just like, yeah, okay. That was sad. He went through all that crap and survived the whole thing at the end of the Avengers Annual, only to be left behind. Yeah, that was sad. I was like, jeez, the hits keep coming with this what if. And it's so weird because Daredevil doesn't get the big head; his senses get evolved. Yeah, yeah. And then Spider-Man gets the 6 arms again. No, it's fine. I have a wife now. She's not going to complain one bit. Oh, my. Think of all the options now, MJ. I just love when the bomb goes off and like the West Coast Avengers are sitting there with the X-Men and everyone's just like, oh, look, what happened to your powers? Like Wolverine's claws get bigger and stuff. And Colossus can't transform back and stuff.
Yeah.
What about you, Namor? I'm stronger now.
My favorite biscuit.
Lifting that car over his head. Oh, yeah, even Wonder Man got the big head.
Yeah. That was funny, too, seeing him all egghead like that.
And Mantis with the giant head and the antenna.
Little antenna sticking out, yeah.
All right, so any other thoughts on this, Justin?
No, I enjoyed that one a lot. I've got to go back and replace my damaged copy of that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read a what if, most of them were like that. But if you want a story where it's like you're not going to see stuff coming, read what if. Read
exactly. Yeah, that's one where, like I said, the first time I read it, I was like, wow, like holy cow, the thing with the Celestial, and even with Galactus, like this was also before people started putting the boots to Galactus on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody could really touch him, and when that happened, also in this issue, I was thinking to myself, "Yikes! They mean business here."
I know.
Wow. Okay.
Like I don't know if it was the newsstand or what, because like I didn't get this new. Like I was collecting this what if volume, but like I somehow missed the first one. I picked it up on number 2, which was much more grounded compared to this. But it was like, what if Daredevil killed the Kingpin during Born Again?
That's right. Yeah.
But I got this at a back issue like years later. I'm like, oh my god!
Have you ever covered that what if issue on the Daredevil show?
I don't think so.
That'd be a good one to cover on there.
Oh yeah.
If I remember, that was a good one. I can't remember who wrote that.
I can't remember that one. Oh yeah, we did. Well, I know we did. We did talk to D.G. Chichester a few months back about his what if issue of Daredevil's. Like, what if Daredevil had basically Kingpin had basically adopted Daredevil?
Oh yeah, nice.
That was like later on. It was like issue 73 or something. Yeah,
that was much later on. Yeah.
Oh, you know what we got to cover one day. Was it issue 3? It's like basically it's like, what if Steve Rogers hadn't given up tried not to give up being Captain America? And
John Walker didn't get his shot and all that. Yeah, definitely. That's a good one. I think that's another one that got damaged, so I'm going to have to replace that copy too. I'll get them both at the same time.
We got a few coming up, kid. I think towards the end of the year, there's an episode where we're just going to cover 3 issues of What If. So from this volume, so
I'm excited for that.
Right.
I love a good What If.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what Chichester even says. He's like, it's like most of them. It's like, the universe gets destroyed. Basically, everyone gets killed or the universe gets destroyed.
Yeah. Sometimes both.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess if the universe gets destroyed, everyone gets killed.
Yeah. Unless you're Galactus, you got an escape plan.
It's either everyone dies, or the universe gets destroyed, or everyone's just.
It's enjoyable, and somehow I got pregnant.
Exactly. So somebody's married and pregnant by the end of it.
Oh my! All right. Anything else, Justin?
No, in retrospect, I really enjoyed the Evolutionary War. It was kind of patchy, going back and reading it like as a whole, as we did for this month.
Yeah.
Like the beginning's kind of weird. There's not a lot of exposition that explains why the High Evolutionary is doing this. What I kind of feel like it hit its stride around like the X-Men annual, like one of the last episodes we covered, the X-Men annual, the Amazing Spider-Man annual.
Yes.
Like in that middle part was where the story was really at its best. But I think that having all these different writers didn't really help. They kind of didn't really have a good cohesion as to the High Evolutionary's character and his goals. Like everybody was kind of like, yeah, he wants to evolve humanity, but he's doing it in a different way every issue. Okay, well, I don't know. It didn't feel very cohesive to me. It didn't feel like there was a good flow to it from issue to issue.
Yeah, it did seem kind of weird. Like, I think you're right, where it's basically, I don't know if they had like a fully formed plan. It's basically like, oh yeah, in your issue, the High Evolutionary has to be up to some crap. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to figure out how his plans fit in with this character.
And bonus points if you can mention a previous annual, but yeah.
right, and fit something else from the past into it. But yeah, I think it was. I enjoyed it on the whole, though. There were some issues that I didn't care for, like the Avengers annual is probably like the low point. But yeah, most of it I did enjoy quite a bit. Yeah. What about you, Phil?
I liked it, and again, I mean, we'll probably compare all these crossovers when we do them. But I mean, I'll take this any day of the week over The Crossing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
And it'll be, like I said, it'll be next summer, but it'll be interesting, again, even within a year, like comparing this to the Atlantis attacks and.
Because that was so much more complicated than this.
More issues
more layers to the story, more moving parts going on, a lot more locales.
Oh yeah.
This was all over the place.
But I haven't reread it in the longest time, but from what I remember, doesn't it seem like they had a more cohesive plan though for this than like the Evolutionary War?
I think they did. Yeah, I think. From what it seems like in retrospect, the Evolutionary was kind of like the testing ground.
Yes.
They were kind of, let's see how this does. And if it does well, we'll do another one and we'll put more into it. And that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, I bet the Evolutionary War did sell pretty well at the time. I think it was pretty popular. I mean, I was collecting it.
I mean, you would think it had to for them to do Atlantis attacks the next year and go bigger.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think it helped, too, to have good writers. I mean, Jerry Conway, Louise Simonson, Steve Englehart, Walt Simonson. Like, it helped that they had some really good talent.
Oh, yeah.
Writing all these annuals. Chris Claremont in the X-Men one. But, yeah, I think that they had a more cohesive plan for the next one. I think they realized that they needed to have a little bit more of a through line to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh, yeah, towards the end of November, I'd say probably around Thanksgiving time for you Americans. We're going to be doing What If from this volume 5 through 7. So, which I believe are on the app. I think 5 is What If Wonder Man had lived that first time. Mm-hmm. 6 is Inferno, and then 7 is What If Wolverine was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I don't think I've read that one.
Oh, yeah. He gets recruited. I think it's even like before that he goes. It's instead of going to the X-Men, he gets recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. I think.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I read that one. Yeah,
very cool. Oh, I love the Inferno one. That's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got to do that crossover at some point someday.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, we might have to pick and choose those issues because that's another one went through pretty much everyone's book.
Yeah, that was a long one.
I was gonna say we could like confine ourselves to the mutant books or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because that went over into Spider-Man, Avengers. Yeah,
Daredevil. Yeah,
Daredevil. Yeah. Yeah, we could just do the X books. That would be at least a couple of months worth of.
Because the X-Men, the mutant books, that was basically the gist of this story. Everyone else, like the Spider-Man books, like, oh, I'm fighting a possessed mailbox or something.
Right. Yeah. It just so happened that all of New York was going crazy at the same time.
All right. So, if nothing else, I guess we can tell what we're doing next. Well, for the next 2 weeks, because we split it up into 2 parts, because one episode will not contain this, kids. All right, because I know we told you we were doing Captain America next time, and we still are, but we were going to do some Serpent Society next time, but we decided to shift that to next year for the movie because the Captain America 4 movie, yes, it seems like the Serpent Society is going to play a part, so we're going to save the Serpent Society stuff for then, but we still want to do Captain America for July, and we still want to do Grunwald, so Justin's pick, which I wholeheartedly rubber stamped and said, yes, let's do it. All right, kids. So next time we're going to do part 1 of Captain America, Man and Wolf, part 1.
Yes.
From Captain America 402 and 403 and 404.
1992.
Oh. And then, yes, of course, the week after that, we'll finish it off with Captain America 405 through 408. Which, so yes, kids, if you have not read it, you're going to want to read this.
Yes, you must read this. It's so good.
It was the summer event, and guest stars galore. Wolverine, Cable, Werewolf by Night's in there.
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane, yes.
Yeah. Dr. Druid.
Ponytail Dr. Druid, yes.
Ponytail Dr. Druid, freshly resurrected.
He's young and good now, kid.
That's right.
I forgot about Druid. Yeah, Dr. Druid, yeah.
Yeah. He's actually a vital component to this story, as we'll see.
John Jameson's in there. We get introduced to a new character, Moonhunter.
Moonhunter, yes. Who also becomes later on a supporting member of Captain America's supporting cast.
Yeah, but some old returning villains.
Dr. Nightshade.
Yes. Oh yeah, is that a Diamondback backup in those issues? Yeah, that was the era Captain America was doing backup stories. So
yes, as a matter of fact, yes, because I think if I remember right, for a while they were doing these 6-part backups, or these 6-part crossovers rather, bi-weekly. I think the Bloodstone Hunt was, at least. I can't remember. I think Streets of Poison was, but I'm not sure if Man and Wolf was. But anyway, yeah, they had to pad them out because they were coming out at a frequent rate, so they had the backup stories. And I can't remember if this is the one where Diamondback discovered Crossbones' identity, where Crossbones kidnapped her and like she eventually figured out who he was.
Yeah, I think it was the point where I think he kidnapped her and he's like making his way back to the Red Skull because trying to get back in his good graces.
Right.
Yeah, because we'll get to it next week, but yeah, I believe this might be the backup where he has her go into Avengers Mansion. Is like, oh yeah, steal Captain America's old blood because he did get that blood transfusion in Streets of Poison. So,
right, yeah, that's gonna be good stuff.
That was his story. Lilith was willing to cover a cracked out Captain America.
Streets of Poison, yeah. Captain America on crack.
For some reason, Lilith
living in America.
All right, kids. So send us your thoughts, Man and Wolf. If you haven't read it, I'm telling you, read it now. I mean, Come on, Ray. I know you've read this. Come on.
Yes, Ray, send in your thoughts, and Russell too. Russell with all these werewolves. I know.
Oh yeah, Russell, come on, and Russell, if you haven't read this, you have to read it.
Yes,
wild, like an animal.
All right, I know. Drop where he's in next week.
Wild, like an animal.
Yeah, that one's going to get a lot of views over the next couple of episodes.
All right. So yes, kids. So send us your thoughts on the. Well, you can still send us your thoughts on Evolutionary War. We'll read them next time. But yes, definitely send us your thoughts on Man and Wolf.
And all your Captain America thoughts, because we're doing another episode after those. We're doing Mark Waid.
Oh yes, yeah. We're doing that. Yeah, was it 4 through 6? Yes, because Skrulls. I wonder why they're going to be timely here soon, kids.
A little Secret Invasion tie-in.
Get those mother effing Skrulls off my mother effing planet.
I'm waiting for that line. I'm waiting for it. He has to say that at some point in this series.
It's so funny because my wife, who doesn't read comics or anything, that the commercial was on today. It's so cute. She's like, what's that about? I'm like, yeah, the Skrulls, it's like an alien invasion, shapeshifter. She's like, oh yeah, wasn't one of them masquerading as as Nick Fury? I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, do you remember which movie that was revealed in? She's like, I hate you. I'm like, yeah, like Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home. Come on. It's a rough life living with King of the Nerds,
Then she just walks away. She walks into the other room.
Probably slap me, but yeah.
That's fantastic.
Can't help it. I spent my memory and my childhood and my memory on useless knowledge like that.
Yes, all these facts have definitely have some purpose, have some value. All of them.
Again,
they eventually come in handy.
Yes, I mean, again, I probably could have, waited and filled that memory with, gone to medical school, filled that memory with medical knowledge and become a doctor. No. That's all superhero trivia up here, kids.
Yeah, no, it's much better used with Marvel and DC knowledge. Yeah, absolutely.
No. What if number 8? What if the Iron Man Lost Armor Wars? I mean, just that pops up. But
Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I can remember what if number 8.
I can remember every word to Captain America the Bloodstone Hunt.
Well, that's the thing. I remember the old stuff better than the newer stuff because those I read over and over and over.
Me too, yeah. So much so that the covers fell off some of them. Yeah.
All right, kids. So, yes, send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, a link to the Patreon. Join the Patreon Elite, like Justin here.
Yes, join me in the Patreon Elite. You get all the perks and the good stuff, and the bonus episodes about Heroes Reborn, which are worth the price of admission alone.
The second part of Heroes Reborn, yes, Lilith and I are recording next week. And again, you get access to all the previous episodes. But yes, Lilith is... She had fun with that Fantastic Four. I don't think she's going to have as much fun with that Avengers stuff. So you want in, kids.
This is going to be interesting, yeah.
And again, you get early access to the Chichester chats before anyone else. So we just recorded that this morning. We talked about his time writing the Hardware.
Oh, yeah, the milestone. Yeah, I'm going to listen to that tomorrow.
Yeah, because he wrote like the last 6 issues of that series, the original series. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. I'll listen to that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we had a good chat on that this morning.
Yes.
All right, so yes, find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, we mentioned the Hulk a few times tonight. We did not mention the Predator.
No.
But yes, Justin talked. Podcast those and more. Oh, before we get to your plugs, did you see? I guess they're coming out with a Wolverine Predator thing.
Yes, I saw that yesterday. I was very excited. Wolverine versus Predator -- 1 coming out later this year.
Sure, that's going to be covered on your podcast. So, but yes, tell these. Well, again, you're here every week, and you're on We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast
at the end of every month because Lilith's too good to cover Azrael or Nightfall. So yes, catch Justin there all the time. But again, he also podcasts elsewhere. So tell them where you podcast with that original man beast himself, Russell.
The original man beast, yes. Russell and I co-host 2 other shows together. One is Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk twice a month about the Hulk and She-Hulk and everything to do with the Hulks. And we also have a Patreon over there as well with some bonus episodes every month, so do check that out.
And again, it's a good show. You should subscribe, but if for no other reason, we are going to be doing a crossover between this show and Gamma Charge in August, so you should...
Yeah, for the whole month, we're doing a big Summer Smash crossover with some great annual crossovers. I love it.
Exactly. All right, do the other shows.
Russell and I also co-host Predator and Prey, a Yocha podcast with our good pal Ray, the High Priest of Khonshu himself. And we will be covering the aforementioned Wolverine versus Predator #1. But we're also covering the current series by Ed Brisson and Nitho Diaz, which is excellent. And I do request that everybody who hasn't read it and has an interest, go check it out because it is amazing. And last but certainly not least, my solo show, The Lost Library of Legends, after a year and a half of talking about it, is almost done. I should have something ready this month, June 2023.
Oh, yeah!
I love myself that I played that the one time and Ray had no idea. We had to explain to Ray who the Kool-Aid Man was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I love that.
Then he wrote the one time and he's like, the Kool-Aid Man. He spelled it with a C. We're like, nah, oh, you're so cute. That's a nice try.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
My favorite biscuit.
Scream it!
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. I hope we have evolved your comic knowledge this past couple weeks.
Yes. Send in your thoughts on the Evolutionary War.
Oh, yeah. And again, send in your thoughts for Capwolf. It's coming, kid.
Yeah. Wild like an animal.
Oh, yeah. Special guest cameo by J. Jonah Jameson. All right. Come back next time. May your armor protect you. Good night.